keep striving to bring good jobs and good schools and safe neighborhoods to every corner of this state, because that's what you elected us to do, and that's what you deserve.
Governor Bill Lee making big promises in his second State of the State address. One of those promises, more money intended for Tennessee teachers, improvements in health care and criminal justice reform.
News Channel 5's Kyle Horan looks at the governor's proposals for the year ahead.
What must have been Governor Lee's biggest announcement had to do with education, including a $120 million addition to the education system, which would be used for teacher pay raises.
The vast majority of our students are educated in traditional public schools, and the majority of our efforts must remain focused there.
The governor wants to put $600 million into K-12 education. It includes an increase in funds intended to be used for teacher salaries, news that brought a standing ovation. Also, he wants to add $65 million to the Basic Education Program Fund. In all, that funding brings the education system total budget in Tennessee to $5.6 billion. But what about the Education Savings Account program? The governor wants to start it a year early, meaning this fall. An additional $14 million added to the program to cover what public schools would lose from students moving to private schools. Some other big announcements: $100 million in grants for local governments to use on one-time projects, such as road improvements, and a proposed increase in criminal penalties for firearm thefts. Adding $50 million to the Rainy Day Fund, which would make the total fund higher than pre-recession levels. More money into new health care programs. Plus, there's a line in the budget to put $25 million to the development of broadband internet in rural areas. In the end, Governor Lee said his wish was for the state moving forward, working together, rather than split by politics.
The differences should not divide us. Rather, they challenge us to take the harder, higher road of understanding, of respect, and of common purpose.
Kyle Horan, News Channel 5.
Thank you, Kyle. In the Democrats' response to Governor Lee's State of the State address, they say the legislature isn't focused on solving actual problems Tennesseans face. Democratic leader Senator Jeff Yarbrough gave the response just minutes after the governor's speech. He said it's disappointing to see a governor who campaigned on bringing people together focus on divisive issues like abortion. Yarbrough also said Democrats are willing to work across the aisle.
There are a lot of people who just want this government to work and to work for them. They just want the streets paved, the 911 calls answered, the trash picked up. They want to be able to live in a safe neighborhood, afford a decent, send their kids to a decent school, afford to make a living, afford to retire with a little bit of dignity and not be a burden on those that follow them.
Yarbrough called the governor's proposed education funding a small, good first step, and other areas like mental health funding is something everyone can get behind.
Well, the Tennessee Education Association responded to Governor Lee's proposal to increase teacher salaries. Lee's budget sets aside $117 million additional dollars for a pay increase. But the TEA says, quote, while that is a large yearly increase, it breaks down to about $1,450 per teacher, or approximately $28 a week. It also said, quote, the governor and General Assembly can and should do more to make teaching a professionally paid career. If you'd like to watch the entire State of the State in its entirety or the Democratic response, all you have to do is go to our Facebook page. You can also read more about them, each of them, on our website. That's newschannel5.com, guys.